Alright, muri yeZimbabwe kusangana kwatiri kuita zvakare ipo pano paZim News update apo patinoda kupa first hand update anonga ari kuitika munyika yedu yeZimbabwe. So kana uri mutsva usabve pano usina kusubscribe kulike nekushare. So muzuva ranhasi tine nhaurwa yekutoti pane mubvunzo uri kubvunzwa nevazhinji vari kutaura kuti sei pairitaya Chief Justice Malaba vamunangagwa vakabva vaita secret trip yekuenda kuBelarus. Muri yeZimbabwe kana tichitaura panapa tatine full information and first hand information. So kana tichinge tichikutsanangurira panapa kune vanhu vaya vanoti muri kunyepa zvakazodai vachinyora macomment section aiwa zvinizvo zvasi right because iwe kana uchiti tiri kunyepa kuti vamunangagwa hama munyika nezuro kwakaitwa dina ya Chief Justice Malaba vachiritaya now wakareplacewa nemukadzi pane mukadzi ndiye Chief Justice. So tira kuona kuti mabig wigs ese mubato reZANU-PF vainge varipo kusanganisira nemavice president ese vainge varipo ana George Charamba whatever wese ana ziyambe wese mucabinet vainge varipo kusanganisira naFadzemaire chazotukuendesei kuna Fadzemaire munyatse kumuona kuti anga ariko president Emerson Mnangagwa vanga vasiko kana iwe uchiti tinonyepa iweka tsvaga mavideos acho ekudhina rairitaya Chief Justice Malaba nezuro manheru rakaitwa paHarare Hotel. So kana uye uchiti kwanzi tiri kunyepa kuti kwanzi zvakadai so tiri kudza first hand information woti kwanzi tiri kunyepa nekuti hausati wainzwa isusu tatine mafirst hand information tomabuditsa imi musati makumaziva ndosaka tichiuya panapa tichikupakurirai kutoti no saka iwe kana kuti tiri kunyepa ende unotsvage painternet o paYouTube whatever kwawadaenda kunotsvaga nyange kuZBC nyange wati kuenda kuchannel ZBC unotsvaga dina unoona mavideo acho unoona kuti unowaona ere president Emerson Mnangagwa vari kunzi vakaenda kuBelarus zvisikatombozikanwi secret trip yekutoti mumota chaichedzo zvakafanana marandom mota emacitizen ando vakatongokwira pasina kana zvimasairini zvaizvo zvimamota kedi zvimachipa anga pasitomborina vakakwira vakaenda negoridhe kuBelarus ndezvaizvo tinoziva kuti kari kunonzi akasike kutanga vachiita zvinhu izvozvo muri yeZimbabwe. So tira kuti tiwerenge tese panapa tabva panapa tichakuendesai kuna Fadzemaire ari kuzitonga munhu akangwara stereki makaona achinyora madandemutande ake mafacebook nemachichi achiti kwanzi we need new leaders nezuro anga ari ikoko ari kudya dhina nemaZANU-PF kuHarare Hotel kwainge kuchipembererwa ku sort of like kuretire Chief Justice Malaba. Iyo Nelson Chamisa ari kutonyora Chief Justice Malaba achimuwenga achimisa picture yake achimuwenga but umwene wake anoti anowirirana naye ari kuenda kunodya dina uko handi mazona azvinyatsi kumeka sense muri yeZimbabwe asi tekwakurunzikana kuti iye nekutotaura kwaanoita nekushoropodza kwaanoita bato reZANU-PF tekwakurunzikana kuti ndiana madhuku taiti pamweni zviri nani handi mazona ndiana madhuku kana kuti ana Mwonzora taiti pamweni zviri nani ino yandozviona nga sort of like akangwara stereki but haana kungwara takumuonera manchikadhi chake manje. So zvinotaura zvezvo zvinati Gorimbo chicho vanhu vanenge vachitowashora achingotadza vanenge vachitora mafacebook zvezvese vanenge vachitoonera vanhu aya vachitotaura kuti iwe nhingi iwe unodaini kudai because politics is a dirty game. So vanotita panapa tiri kunyepa panapa tichiwaudza zvinhu ende monoono kutukudzai kutoti vakaenda kuBelarus takakudzai nezuro kuna vanhu vakaisa makomend ekutoti muri kunyepa zvakazodai so ngativerenge tese panapa muri yeZimbabwe izvi tiri kuda kuverenga panapa but tiri kuti ende munoone mavideo acho munooti ariko here munyatse kuona chokwadi kuti haako maspeech ana Kembo wakaisa ana VP wakaisa hamutooni kana speech yake hamutomuoni ikoko handi mazona. So regedzai tiverenge tese panapa tinzwe kuti zvakamira sei. Tiri kuona panapa muri yeZimbabwe president Emerson Mnangagwa vari kunzi vakabuda takuchipinda munhauwa dzedu vari kunzi vakabuda vakaenda kuBelarus vakabuda negoridhe zvezvo zvinoziva kuti ndo kunotengeswa goridhe kunana Belarus kana usinotoenda kunana Belarus unonga utoenda kunana Middle East ikoko kutsva hondo ikoko chichi chimwe but hondo mari haine hondo vanhu vanongoenda nyange zvakadaro. So tiri kuona panapa muri yeZimbabwe pakanyorwa kunzi president Emerson Mnangagwa quietly slipped out of the country late on Wednesday without the unusual airport funwell and blaring sirens and ministers to see him of Zim Live is established. Tiri kuona panapa vakangobuda zvekungobuda zvezvo kunoti hazvitombozikani kuti president wakambofamba sei kana kuti chii chiri kuitika. So tiri kuona panapa the ZANU-PF leader 83 flew to Belarus on a unexplained trip to sufficient to appears that he missed a farewell dinner in honor of the departing muri yeZimbabwe tiri kuti tinyatse kuverenga apa The ZANU-PF leader 83 flew to Belarus on an unexplained trip to St. Vincent. It appears that he missed a farewell dinner in honor of the departing Chief Justice Luke Malaba at Harare Hotel on Thursday evening. Murikuona akastoriko but takazvisa panapa enda unoone kana unoone anga asiriko enda unoone takazvisa panapa vanhu vakati kunyepa chichi chimwe chinyora macomment section saka iwe enda unoone mavhidhiyo unyase kudzionera kuti anga asipo handowazviona but takutaura panapa zvinonga kuti kunyepera enda unoone mavhidhiyo tsvaga aripo paindaneti akazara kana zvada unoenda channel yeZBC unotsvaga ikoko kutoti dhina ya Chief Justice Luke Malaba vana batanga kutobuda kana kunyora kuti speech ya VP Chiwenga speech ya Kembo Muhadi speech ya vamunanga gbono kuti inobuda iri chimwe so tiri kuona pana pakanywa kunzi Vice President Kembo Muhadi attended the event as guest of honor on behalf apa ndita sekwa Vice President alright siko VP Chiwenga usina unywa bana post akaona kwachitaura speech ya chimwe Vice President Kembo Muhadi attended the event as guest of honor on behalf of Munangagwa government spokesperson and Ndavaningi Mangwana said Vice President Constantino Chiwenga also attend and spoke at the farewell. Tiri kuona panapa vari kunzi vese vanga vari kuende vese vanga vari kuti akatovaona chichi. President spokesperson George Charamba he had not responded to questions sent to him. A senior government source who spoke to Zim Live revealed it was not the first time Mnangagwa and he left the country without ceremony. He has in fact made the exact trip to Belarus before leaving late at night and returning early morning after a couple of days. It's just that this time someone caught onto it, the official said. Mnangagwa enjoys close ties with Belarusian strongman Lukashenko mazizite ku Belarus. Tikuona bana muri Zimbabwe vari kunzi vari kuenda kuno enjoy zvavo. Tikuona kwasara 3 days chete kuti constitution amendment bill number 3 ringe richipasiswa asi kuti zvinofamba sei papa. The president is unexplained absence comes as parliament brace to debate the constitution amendment bill number 3 which would extend his second and final term currently due to end in 2028 to 2030. The bill would also extend the parliament term by 2 years and remove the direct election of the president who would instead to be voted in by MPs. Tikuona pana mamuri yeZimbabwe wana vane mari ndo vachangokwanisa kuita mapresident munomu sezvinongotikaona nanyika yeSouth Africa because Ramaphosa arunzi akaine mari kaise businessman kubva kudhara chichi so ndosaka wakakwanisa kupinda kukwana because wakangokwanisa kungoconvince chete kuti ma-MPs toite 360 wongoti convince chete tongokuvhotera zvatovharana watova president. So tikuona panapa critics and legal experts says the changes cannot be implemented without a referendum and even then an argument cannot benefit the government denies this is appears determined to force through the proposal which has reportedly caused reaction in ZANU-PF amid Revelation and Chiwenga is secretly opposed. Catholic bishops warned this week that the bill would be undermined foundational constitutional principles, weaken institutional independence, diminish the direct democracy participation muri yeZimbabwe. Ndofunga tiri kuona ndozviri kuitika panapa. Rekedza tiende kunhauwa yafadzai mahiri munyase kuona kuti fadzai mahiri anga andori kudhina rauyu kudhina rana sort of like ndonga muri kuona ndifadzai mahiri anga andori kudhina nezuro uya rapo muona anga tiri kudhina ndana niki mangwana muona vane sema members yeZANU-PF esa akatochura kudhina naKembo Muhadha vanga vari kudhina chimwe so zvinhu zvacho muri yeZimbabwe zvinonetsa zvinonetsa. So tiri kuona pana pakanyorwa advocate Fadzaima responded attending the farewell dinner of Chief Justice Malaba, which was attended by high profile people from the government, including the two vice president, retired General Constantino Chiwenga and retired Kembo Mohadi. Zvitiri kuudzai panapo kuti haatoripa mutomboonekana president mazoni munanga. So tiri kuona kuti veruzhinji vanenge vari kuda kuedza kuvharidzira sort of like so tiri kuona pana pakanyorwa kunzi vanhu ava nemikuno yakuti Fadzaima sei akaenda kunoatenda zvinhu zveZANU-PF. Chief Malaba wacho ndiye akatoabirira futi 2017. So tiri kuona pana pakanyorwa kunzi she is an advocate of the high court. Tiri kuona panapa pakanyorwa kunzi if you don't know, her father is a former PM circle of ZANU-PF member. She benefited from the same system ari kuitiswa ndimwi. Ari kuitiswa zviri pachena iyo angatenda kuti kwanzi iwo aiwa vana Bobi Wine onekwa ari kudyana naMuseveni aiwa kana system yacho ingabuda sei nyako kazi uri mufevhera kwacho ungamufevhera sei? Hapana, hapatomborina, hapana. Zvakuva nekuti wanzwa kuti Wanelson Chamisa wanga wariko kudhina kwaMalaba hazvimeki sense zvinhu zvakafanana nezvozvo. Nyakwana Douglas Ngonzoro wacho wakanzi variko hazvimeki sense because vatoopoza Constitution Amendment Bill number 3 vachiopoza nebato reZANU-PF hazvinyatsi kumeka sense. So tiri kuona apa ari kutaura chokwadi kuti ari kuitiswa ndimi. I hope she was careful not to eat the food. Muzere varoi imomu chibato chevaroi works 24/7 to give a slow poison to democratic opponent. But everyone on this platform said Fadzai is living abroad as a political refugee. No, Fadzaima here anoka chijima kunana uyu. So tiri kuona pana pakanyorwa kunzi some kind tiri kuona pana Hanti she was invited here. Maida was invited ne opposition, invited opposition, ne ruling party. She came to claim clap hands for fellow female lawyers who are claiming the leader of success in the legal field. Well, she spent 24 hours attacking people on social media. Acha swinura, acha achembera kuti she wasted time. 24/7 anakati pa social media, we need new leaders, achitonga ari kumokana na uyu chimwe ndosaka wiki nochiva anabasa nalo anotoro haiwa datitowirirana chichi datitowirirana. So ndonawo mamiriro dzakaita muri yeZimbabwe. Tira kuti tinzwe wakomana wetinavo pano vanenge vari kuda kupatsanura kutoti no pano wakomana wekukinya vari kuona zviri kuitika kuno kunyika yeZimbabwe wada izotaura kuti chii chiri kunyatsomboitika asati ambozoona zviri kuitwa munyika yeZimbabwe. Ana wiki nochivayo zvavari kuita izvi kana unana South Africa whatever nana Mozambique hazvisati zvamboitika kunze kuti ari kutenga mainfluencer iye ari kutsvaga simba. Pane zvakatoteya muri yeZimbabwe, pane zvakatoteya iye wiki nochivayo tikutozviziva nyange achiramba akoti handisi politician zvakazodaiso but pane zvakatoteya, pane zvakatoteya chaizvo. Rekedzei tiwanzwa vachitaura. So kana uri muSouth Africa kusubscribe kulike nekushare muri yeZimbabwe.
Because Canada is tisafunga kuti zvakapusa. The possibility of buying citizens, we've seen the leadership sanoita nazvo. Buying citizens, I was using a figure of 10,000 and maybe bracket kuti citizens average 10 million citizens who probably are vanhu vari mu age group tingati netwana tudikika. But again, even if we scale it down to Zimbabwe chete, it can come down to about 6-7 million. And maybe they can even go down to targeting the youth. What message can we share? If we are given 10,000, because indogaya staring, ndoramba nchifunga because I know kuti Chirema chine mazano, Chirema kaishi. They may come up with a project yekutenga vanhu, kuti vakatenga leaders. When I was calculating 10 million, it adds up to 100 billion. But nokupfachirwa kuita mari ndofunga 100 billion ingoita figure inovhundutsa. But mukazonyatsoita mezi dzacho kana vari vanhu vanoda kunyatsoachiva investment kai, they can afford to part with 100 billion. But that 100 billion already is scaling it down, maybe down to 5 million, it can reduce to less than 50 billion. When that happens, Nyamashisha, do we have that preparedness yekuti tiite resist, because they are not stupid. They know exactly what we are thinking, how we are thinking, kuti we are determined to stop this nonsense. They know that we know exactly that they've captured my pastor, everybody who is in society as a leader in whatever respective, area. Is it not a possibility that they can come up with a fund to buy us, to silence us? 10,000 is nothing per head. Thank you. Move on.
Go on.
My ethics up.
Ndipindere chete.
All right, okay.
Right, chete, inini my parting ways is I'm a visitor. I've just come to your platform. I'm from Kenya, and I've been following you for the last 10 years. And we have seen on social media that in your country, in Zimbabwe, two prominent journalists or radio presenters were given gifts, cars as presents. What's your take yourself, my brother? Because in my country, it's very anathema and taboo to see such a thing. But I want to ask you from Zimbabwe, me, I'm from Kenya. I want you to tell us what you think about this.
Can you repeat that again?
I said I'm from Kenya. My name is Jemu Rungano. We have seen, you are from Zimbabwe. We have seen two prominent radio presenters in your country were given cars as gifts. What's your take on that by a prominent businessman in Zimbabwe? We have never seen it in our country. What does that mean?
It means there is a blatant erosion of ethics when it comes, to journalism, because we expect our journalists to be independent. We expect them to be fair, to be truth tellers, and when you see a situation where the manager who is the superior or who is the authority in that radio station coming out and saying, we appreciate the gifts, but they are too much because we've got a policy. Our policy says there is a level that we cannot go beyond that level. And then you see these businessmen doing theatrics and packaging this in a way that is almost laughable, or in a way that is designed to undermine what is existing in the organization. Then there's everything that is wrong with that picture. For me, I don't know how Patisani and Comfort Mbofana, I don't know how they are going to be continuing in their working relationship, or I don't know how this individual is going to continue with his working relationship with the organization, because the organization has got a culture, and that culture here right now, instead of it being respected, instead of it being upheld, we are witnessing a situation where one is now prepared to go against that culture. And usually in many organizations that comes with its own consequences. One can easily be where in other countries one can easily be dismissed for that, or can easily be taken to a session that look a disciplinary session that look at his conduct. But Zimbabwe now is a country that does not respect that. And it is a pity that we are in this situation. We are having organizational rules being substamped. We are also having the same happening to every other institution that you can think of in the game Zimbabwe. So what I believe is we need a reset as a nation, as a country, as a people. And what you are seeing is not something that must be emulated, elsewhere. It's things, that are wrong, and things that should not be, tolerated. We know people with money are powerful, but money should not be used for circumventing the rules, for circumventing what is there.
Jed, you are very, very good at answering. Right. I don't want to change your topic. Jed, pane statement yandoda one second my brother. Pane statement yandoda kuisa sentence yandoda kuisa panapa. I'm working for Star FM Jed. Then ndapedza kudeedzera bhora. Mange makateerera commentary yangu ndina Jed na Signoro. Takuenda kunogocha stop over tosangana mangwana. Mistake yandaita ipapo ndeipi Jed?
Can you say that? Sorry. Can you say that again?
Right. We have just done a football commentary, Jed and Philip at Czech Stadium. Right. Then my final parting on the radio. Then I say, right, mange makateerera commentary yedu kubva kwaMuCzech Stadium pakati peChapungu neMasvingo United. Inini naJed takuenda unogocha stop over. Tosangana neMande. Mistake yandapara ipapo ndeipi? Mistake yandapara ndekuti takuenda unogocha stop over because I've already advertised for stop over.
Oh, okay, it's fine. Yeah.
You have made it. Zofane kuti right pa Star FM uti right tosangana ma okay mangwana nenge kana kuti nenge chimwa Coca-Cola. You have already. So what Vayo is doing there is trying by all means to have a free airplay.
Free airplay for for himself.
For his name.
Yeah, it's creating okay. Yes, you see
I've been into this game for a long time.
No, but you see what you are saying. It's another angle. As well. You understand? It's another angle as well. Here you've got this individual. He's advertising himself to be an individual who is I know what he wants. Those people kuti uyu anoita zvaanoda uyu is unstoppable. Ndosaka inini ndabvunza inini kuti what kind of a country do we want to be building? A country where institutions bend to the whims of an individual, or a country where individuals bend to the whims of an institution? Because if the institution is saying our ethical policy or our ethics pertaining to gift giving, it says, this. What is an individual supposed to be doing? Thank you. I didn't know. I respect that. And you move on. But when one with this goes beyond moving on and bending, the rules. So how many, remember on the day that he was there, how many people were there? There were about 30 people, that were there. And then he said that out of those 30 people, he's gifting each and every one of them $1,000. Maria lunch. Kuti vaende vanodya. Vakanzi aiwa isusu mutemo wedu panapa ndewe $100. Saka isusu thank you for that money. We are giving you back the 27,000. Totora hedu $100 aya munhu wese ngotora 100 yake. At least the company is working with you. The company is prepared, to be working, with you. And then you have gone overboard. Because in addition of him receiving the $100, you're now creating a spectacle of the whole thing. Wakutoita theater. Wakutoita kuti oraiti saka 100 iyoyo ningi yamukamupa iyoyo yaakatora iyoyo ndo yaakutengesa ningi motikari ye65,000. What are you doing?
It's obvious you want to control.
Exactly.
You.
He wants his name, to be out there. He wants, to create, the guy has said, the guy has even said, Gutizo, whatever it is that he does is for social media.
Not only social media. Remember, guys, when someone become rich, the next thing he wants power. If you can look at Shivayo, he claims that he's a businessman. Of course, right? But when he trod Africa, when he goes in Africa, you won't see Chivayo with other business people or other rich people, but
Yes.
you see him with presidents of those countries.
Even Dangote, when he came, he couldn't be in the same room with Dangote.
Just imagine he avoid a person like Dankota, yet we are talking of wealthy now. He avoided Dankota, but he goes on to have photos with the Chapo, photos with Ramaphosa, photos with all those politicians. This Ruta. It's obvious this guy is earning power, and you'll be surprised if this cable 3 passes on the new government of Taguire. You can see him also part of the cabinet, although he said, I don't.
For their being paid for their doing on the impartiality. Deal.
That's correct.
Yes, we have got those varipo zvakafanana nokuti you know what, no, let me not name anyone. But
Plus,
inini ndataura
uncle,
kuti muZimbabwe we have got journalists who are impartial, journalists who tell it as it is supposed to be told, and they've got no fear in their reporting. Nyango kana kuri opposition kwacho vanotaura chokwadi, kuri kuzanu PF, kuri ku the other side vanotaura chokwadi, because their focus is on the truth.
yeah.
Yes.
Uncle, I think to add on that, you also have to separate an individual person and his job, because an individual can actually support the opposition or the ruling party.
Yes.
But when it comes to doing the journalism job, he can be very impartial.
Mfano wangu
So, so,
saidi,
so, so you have to separate that. Kuti, okay, we in the way, I know, probably you can tell good I know the opposition, but let's just look at him doing his job or on that part. So that's where I think the integrity comes. And I think when you look at it like that, there's probably one or two.
imwe nyaya
Yes.
yandoda ngovhara nayo ndeyokudai so muningi nangu Titus. We make mistakes nema-radio presenters nema-journalists. Urunzo. We make mistakes. Yes.
Avaende kuchikoro chimwe chete.
Ma-radio presenters can be picked ne-locuzen. He can be picked ne-kuti maybe ane talent of whatever. Journalists gathers and report news, the information. But the presenter we-radio, I know host and just deliver the program. You see. But he's a journalist, a winning journalist. He's just a radio presenter. Yes, they do the same job. But journalist ne-radio presenter kana takuenda chaiko vakasiyana.
Because radio presenter ane talent yekutaurisa.
Aiwa, we don't do that. Radio presenter anohosta nekudeliver program kuma-listeners. Journalist ndiye anotsvaka, anogather information, report, or editor, oita zvese.
No, but remember, there's also like investigative journalists as well who, and then there's other journalists.
Those are types of journalists, but I don't want to dwell on this program. Yeah, Jade. But those are types of journalists. Kune vashamarari vaunoziva Jade. Vaiva vashamarari kunzi mushamarari weparedio, mushamarari tildamo yomushamarari, ningi mushamarari.
Your brother.
I am not mentioning mazita nungotaura kuti mushamarari.
But okay, all right. Zvakafanana kuda inini I say kuti I'm not a journalist and
yeah. You are an influencer yourself.
Yes.
You are a content creator yourself.
Yes. But I can be considered to be a public communicator.
Yes.
And if I'm a public communicator if I accept my gifts, my favors, or patronage that make me behave in a certain way, then it means kutizo nyaya yema ethics yatikutaura nezvayo panapa does not, disappear.
Yes. But now, as a journalist, now you have got to verify and check the facts. A radio presenter, he just comes in and say.
Yeah, but what is it that you are saying?
No, what I'm saying is, angachitaura nyaya yokuti kona name one journalist ari whatever. Saka ndo pandachitaura kuti sometimes we have to define a difference between a radio presenter and a journalist.
Yes.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Because I'm agreeing, with you. A presenter is not a journalist, especially when you are just hosting a show. Kana kuti uri play a music. Kana kuti you are running. And ma presenters yo ningi freelance when you're doing your show. There are times whereby you are running a calling show, and
I'll give you an example, Jet.
You're not reporting, anything.
Yeah. Let's say, Mam Sigazivi, but Shamarari Angari pa radio from radio 1 to radio 3 ku Zimbabwe. Vese by Pinzana Nehama. Umanga nemkoma nemnina, what they were doing was, unemnina, uyanai ma auditions, uyanai, because unotara ndebele. That's what they were doing in the early 80s.
Right.
So, I'll tell you this now. I remember how my brother got a job at ZPC. I know everything. We were playing football. Tetevedu angakaro kwana kotu in Mbofana.
Right.
Baba Comfort. Anokwara in Park. Baba Comfort. Right. Sekuru Baba in Wellington. Right. So what happened was, my brother spoke very well Shona and Ndebele. You were Taita Baporoto Sanintel. So, Godwin Angari head were radio 2. Akasuka tim Suguru no Shona and Ndebele, why can't you come for radio 4? Timbo would try to them part-timers. Then he went Bagawia Bagamtora, Aganotama auditions. Akaitwa interview na Kinzis band. Then akagona Shona Nendebele zwakanaka. Then Basarakira kuberenga news pa radio 4. But he was too fast. News is 5 minutes, I better than 2 minutes. So they said you're too fast for the news. So what we are going to do? No.
No.
Once you are too fast for the news. But God, you are my part-timers at radio 4. Then he became so good. No parazoita so good by radio 4. By my days, I parade newspaper here is parade. He became so good on radio 4. Then Bagati, this voice is too good for radio 4. Kodiwa Moon 1. Bagavalazi tea. Achieve tea, achieve Coca-Cola. Kodiwa Moon radio 2. That's how he went.
Radio 2, yes. That's how he went.
That's how he went there.
Yes.
Later on, I was so good in football. Then he invited me. Kinzis band, Lisbon, Nassas, and whatever. Bandit or commentary. Then that's where I did commentary. Did best Masingo Mcheke, Chapungo, and whatever. You see, look at the brothers of Bafana, Daibana Bafana, Baganets and Facebook, my brothers, our Bana, what's his name? Robert Tafumane. In my brothers, I drive a motor, Chichi, they all, most of them, Bakawanda Bagatanga Garden, John Piri Agatanga system garden, Yembar. So everyone angane hammer. Everyone asked Senzo. You remember Senzo? Where do Manchester?
Yes, Senzo. Yes, where do Senzo go?
I talking about use house there FM. Yes. My brothers, everyone angane brother by Pinzana ne upinzana pa ZPC.
Right.
vaipinzana bese comfort mbofana mwana wagodwin mbofana ndisekuru waWellington mbofana aibereka nyoze kudhara uya.
Yes, well, I know him.
You see, my uncle Morrison Sfelan angari mkuru ku-ZBC ndova Kevin ndova apinda ku-ZBC.
Vadora Kevin, yes.
You see, so I'm just telling you ukuthi manje ma-journalist manje ndio panosiyana manje nekuti kuenda kunoita journalist reporting paya you need to go for nesikoro che-reporting, but yes, they can promote you from down.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jake.
No, Babu, you know you. You're correct there. You're correct, because I remember the days anyway.
You see, pakabva uya mukoma naita Coca-Cola top 20 ndio mukoma wangu pakazotora Coca-Cola top 20 uya kuenda ku-ZMC.
Yes.
But he was so good because he was good in both Shona and Ndebele. You comment Shona and Ndebele, you good to Shona my programs. Zaki takafungisa zibamatenga chichi, everything was so good.
Right.
You see. So ndachicorrecta nyaya yekuti i-radio presenter nema-journalist. Yes, they do the same job, but pakasiyana.
But my ethics.
Yes.
So what you don't agree
my
with?
Ethics are siyani.
I think
Siyani. Yes.
My ethics, freelance may be taking it wrongly, because when we are talking about a journalist, is defined by qualification. When we are talking about a teacher, is defined by qualification. Whether you are a radio presenter, if you have got a journalist qualification, you are a journalist. Whether you are somewhere doing anything, you have got a qualification, you are a journalist. But what is happening is that there are some people, like what he is saying, they can go to be radio presenters without qualification. Those are unqualified journalists. And there are also people who are taking news. They don't have a qualification. They are unqualified. So the bottom line is, whether you try to play around philosophy